Hey, what's up? This is Harry Wagner from Harry Situations, and today I want to talk to you about off-road trailers, specifically why I don't really like off-road trailers. Now, if you've seen the video I made about rooftop tents, and you've looked in the comments, you've seen numerous comments there that say, all of my issues related to rooftop tents would be solved if I simply put them on an off-road trailer instead of the top of my vehicle. And I will concede that for the most part, this is true. There, I said it, okay? And the reasons being that if you mount a rooftop tent on a trailer, then it's stationary, you can disconnect it from your vehicle, you can still go and explore. They typically tend to be lower to the ground, which makes it much easier to go around the tent, set it up or take it down. You can put down jacks at all four corners, so it's very stable. And I will concede that all those are true, but I still don't like off-road trailers. Let me tell you why. We're here at Rack to Roam in Reno. They were nice enough to let us film at their location here, even though I'm gonna throw shade at some of the products that they sell. They feel confident that the products stand on their own merits, which I appreciate. And if you're looking for a rack from Rhino Rack, Thule, Yakima, Prinsu racks, they got you covered. They also carry a lot of high-end overland products that I use from companies like Front Runner, Max Tracks, Rotopacks, Dometic fridges. So if you're in the Reno area, definitely check them out. I should love off-road trailers, right? It's more opportunity to sell you Nitto tires. And this video is brought to you by Nitto. They make tires from sizes you could run on an off-road trailer up to 42s like I run on my Ford truck, and just about everything in between, from all-terrain, mud terrain, crossover tires like the Ridge Grappler. They've got pretty much any size and any application to fit your vehicle. Rack to Roam has this Taxa woolly bear in their showroom that they let me use for demonstration purposes for this video. And this trailer costs about $12,000. It weighs about 1,200 pounds dry, and it does have some really cool features. It's got this fridge slide. They've got a Dometic fridge in here. It's got a camp kitchen that is nicer than what I'm typically cooking with when I'm out on the trail. What it doesn't have is running water. So for me, that's a big deal. The thing that typically get me to want to go home at the end of a trip are a flush toilet and a hot shower. That was a deciding factor in my own North Star camper that I put in my Ram truck. It's one of the only short bed campers that actually has a wet bath in it. So it has a cartridge toilet and it has an actual shower, which I will concede 95% of the time, my fiance and I would be better suited with a bigger seating area and a bigger table. But at 5% of the time, when you got spider mites at a hot spring or you really need to go to the bathroom, they're worth their weight in gold. A camper like this doesn't add that sort of functionality. All it allows you to do is bring more stuff. So you can add an awning, you can add a rooftop tent, and bring more stuff with you. I would argue, take less stuff with you. Part of the appeal of getting out is not having self-service, is not bringing everything, including the kitchen sink. Lean into the discomfort a little bit and enjoy the outdoors and just simplify. Now, that's easy for me to say because it's usually just me, my fiance, and our dog. If you're someone who has kids, you might not have room for everything, but I would consider something like a bigger vehicle, an Excursion, a Suburban, rather than a smaller vehicle and a trailer as a better, more capable platform. You may recall that last month, Mike from All Terrain Family, who films all these videos, and we made a video with my Ram and his Tacoma. Now he pulls an Aerotow vintage camper behind his Tacoma, and he's fallen into the trap of a lot of overlanders in that it started very light, very simple. It was just a box you could bring more things in. And over time, he added a rack, he put a rooftop tent on it, he put an awning on it, and it just got bulkier and heavier. And that really is a drag behind a vehicle like a Tacoma, particularly when you're off-road. So the trails that I go on tend to be fairly technical. I don't really want a trailer behind me. You need to turn around on a tight trail? Good luck. Backing up isn't much easier, although when Mike extended the tongue, it did make it easier to back up without jackknifing. That's a feature you want to look for if you're looking for an off-road trailer. Even going forward on off-camber terrain or other features like that, I find the trailer to really be a limiting factor. If you think about it, a trailer doesn't have driven wheels like four-wheel drive where all four tires are providing forward motion. It's just sort of dead weight you're dragging behind you, and it really limits the capability and the ability of where you can go. My friends Brad Davidson and David Wiggins rebuilt Mike's Aerotow a couple years ago with a box tube frame, an extended tongue, and suspension using truck springs. There's a full video about this build on the All Terrain family channel if you want to check it out. The suspension in particular is worth discussing. They used Tacoma leaf springs and shocks off of a C10 truck. The shocks are super short, so they fit under the frame, but the leaf springs are much more supple and long compared to a trailer spring. Most trailers have short, stiff leaf springs and no shocks, and they just bounce down the road. Mike's Aerotow can go everywhere his Tacoma goes. They basically have the same rear suspension, and so it has no problem following them down the trail. This Taxa Woolly Bear uses torsion suspension, so the analogy in a truck would be like independent front suspension versus a beam axle. This allows it to conform to terrain better without upsetting the vehicle or the trailer, but the downside is there's less sway resistance at fast turning and if you're in an off-camber situation. But ask yourself, if you're pulling a trailer behind you, are you getting into off-camber situations? How technical of terrain are you really running? Don't get me wrong, I see people running the Rubicon Trail pulling trailers, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea. I also see people run the Rubicon in a day in an Ultra 4 car, and I would argue that you're missing the point. But Harry, I'm not doing the Rubicon. That's cool. If you're going down dirt roads, then maybe a trailer makes a lot of sense for you. But I would argue in that case, you're better served with something like a Coleman pop-up trailer or an R-Pod that actually has things like a bathroom, running water, than an off-road trailer where you just bring more stuff with you. The cost is pretty comparable. They're a little bit heavier, but certainly not out of the realm of being able to be pulled by something like a Toyota Tacoma or a Jeep Wrangler. Really, at the end of the day, use what you want. If a trailer makes sense for you, cool. If you have a rooftop tent and you use it all the time, cool. They don't work for me and my particular needs, but maybe they do work for you. The important thing is don't let the lack of a freezer fridge or an off-road trailer or a rooftop tent keep you from getting out and exploring. You can do it with whatever you already have at home. Did I get it all wrong? Or did I get it right? Comment below and let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.